Hello everyone, welcome to today's webinar. Today we have Pushwoosh and Storyly speaking about this holiday season boom in conversion rates and sales. And let me start by introducing our today's speakers. So today there will be me, Elena Kozlova, a content marketing manager at Pushwoosh, and Kanju Tatik, a senior product manager of Storyly. If you're not familiar with our brands yet, I can introduce you them. Well, Pushwoosh is first of all a customer engagement platform that enables omni-channel communications for the customers across the countries and across the industries. And the second thing about Pushwoosh is that it's an experienced team of professionals that are always willing to help their clients. So whatever I'm going to present you today is based on our real-world experience. Jansu, would you like to present Storyly in a couple of words?
Sure. Let me briefly introduce myself and my company and our product Storyly. So I'm Jansu, as Elena mentioned. I'm the product manager at Storyly for a very long time now. And Storyly is one of the three products of our company, AppSamurai. AppSamurai brings a comprehensive approach to mobile growth with these three products, tapping into different stages of mobile apps lifecycle. And today's topic is Storyly for me. So our latest product is Storyly. Storyly is the first user engagement tool that brings the native store format into mobile apps with lots of rich functionalities. It serves for a variety of the key pain points of mobile marketing professionals, such as onboarding, such as feature adoption, product discovery, retention, conversion boost, and so on.
Well, excited to hear what you've prepared in terms of engagement ideas today. So let's jump into it. Well, today we're going to cover some actionable ideas for this holiday season after the Black Friday 2021. So we'll talk about some strategic points as well as we'll try to focus on giving you some practical ideas that you will get to apply during this year's holiday season and in your ongoing campaigns in 2022. So, what if I told you that during this holiday season, you may get to increase your e-commerce business's sales by 10% compared to the previous year? Well, this 10% is actually the growth projected for the entire e-commerce industry, and you can make part of these blooming statistics. It may come as easily as just you reaching the right audience with the right message on the right channels at the right time. How easy will it be in practice? Well, a lot depends on where you currently stand in your mobile marketing campaign and strategy. So I'll try to give you some ideas of targeting, channels, and personalization that you will get to apply depending on your current possibilities and your current capacities in mobile marketing. We'll have enough time to introduce these ideas this year during this holiday season? Sure, because the Black Friday was just one major shopping event, but customers are going to spread their spending during the entire holiday season that goes on until the end of year holidays. And surely I encourage you to keep engaging, retaining, and converting your customers using these ideas in 2022. So first things first, speaking about targeting, let's take the approach that you may be familiar with. Yeah, the crawl, walk, run approach. So the easiest thing in targeting will be kind of doing no targeting at all. I mean, sending broadcast messages to your entire audience. That will be quite an easy thing to do. You just have all your customers and you send one message to all of them. By the way, on this slide and further on, I will be showing you some screenshots from our beautiful Pushwoosh customer journey builder tool. And it's not just a product placement part here, because as a marketer myself, I enjoy using it because it has all the opportunities for me to communicate with my audience, to segment them, to hold A/B tests, etc., etc. And this is how I and you as e-commerce marketers can reach your audience effectively. So getting back to targeting, what will be the next step here? Well, if we walk in terms of targeting, we may want to apply attribute-based segmentation. And here I mean using any sort of characteristics, any sort of information that our customers have shared with us firsthand. For example, when they got registered in the app, what kind of information could it be? Normally that would be their name, their age, their date of birth. And let me introduce another story to you. You may have some of your friends born in December, and you may have heard from them how they suffer throughout the entire life, because in December, everyone thinks about end of year holidays and no one thinks about their birthday. And they may even receive one gift for 2 holidays from their relatives and friends, both for Christmas, for example, and their birthday. You, as an e-commerce brand, you want to be better than this. So you may apply this attribute-based targeting by communicating with those customers born in December. And instead of sending them a regular holiday season promo, you will send them some ideas of what kind of products they could add in their birthday wish list. Well, and if these are not the customers who were born in December, well, for them, right, you're going to communicate with them your holiday season promo. The next step, let's dwell on this a little bit more. So this kind of communication sequence is a first step to personalization. And you know that personalization is something that can boost your revenue by 5 to 10% according to Net Solutions. And you know that even customers realize that personalization encourages them to spend more than they initially planned. This is the information we got from the BCG. And let's get more advanced in our targeting. So here we want to apply behavioral segmentation, and we may also want to synchronize our offline and online data. So normal playing theory, let me give you a practical example. So you have a group of customers who have just installed your app. But how homogeneous is that group? Are they all the same within this segment? Certainly not. If you own an online store, you may find that these customers who've just installed your online app have actually been your regulars in the offline world. So if you compare this list of newcomers to the list of customers who have purchased something offline, you may want to target those on-premises purchases with a message that would say, hey, welcome to the app, not just to our brand entirely. Here are your bonus points that you may use in our e-commerce app as well, if it is applicable in your case. And if you find out that these customers are not your offline purchases, well, for them, you're going to greet them as you're supposed to greet your complete e-commerce. What kind of results can you expect from this kind of behavioral segmentation? Well, Pushwoosh team has conducted an internal study and found out that behavioral communications bring to 7 times higher engagement with push notifications. This means customers are 7 times more likely to click on your message when it is based on the customer's previous behavior. And moreover, it's not just the engagement with the message that intensifies. You can also expect 25 times higher conversion into target action. And here, by target action, we mean either a direct purchase, if this is what was mentioned in your call to action. This could also be a product view or getting back to the cart, whatever action you expected a customer to complete after seeing the message. And also, behavior-based communications can boost your in-app activity. And here I'm saying that it can increase your in-app activity by 30 times, but we even have some customers that have even higher numbers than that. And this means that customers are more likely to add products to their favorites. They're likely to have more product views. They're likely to get interested in more product categories, etc., etc. And just to draw your attention to the fact of what kind of a fair experiment we held. So here we conducted a comparison of broadcast messages versus behavioral ones. So we focused on the same apps, targeting the same user bases, except for in one case, it was the entire user base, and in another case, it was just a segment of the same users. And we compared the messages that highlighted the same topics and contained similar call to actions. So if a broadcast message said, by now, the behavior-based communication had a similar call to action as well. So, and as we're talking holiday season here, let's apply a more magical step. We don't just crawl, walk, and run here. We want to fly this holiday season. So here's an idea of how you can do this. I encourage you to foresee some behavioral scenarios, including an omni-channel approach. So for example, here we have a segment of frequent buyers. It's already quite a valuable segment for us to focus on, because if a customer has purchased something from us previously, they're likely to convert during the holiday season as well. So what we're going to do with them? We're going to wait until they open our application for the next time. And there we're going to check if they've got something added to their favorites or not. If they have, we will send them an in-app message with the very same product that they have already liked, because this is the one they're most likely to purchase. And if we haven't detected any favorites for this customer yet, well, in this case, we will send them a product recommendation based on what our recommendation engine can pull for us. And it doesn't end there. We want to envisage a scenario where the application open doesn't happen at all. Just a customer hasn't got to open the app. In this case, we're going to still check if they have anything in favorites, and we're going to send them similar communications just via a different channel. And here, we're getting to the question of the choice of channels. Because, of course, the easiest thing to do will be to send just push notification, nothing more. I'm not saying that if it is the easiest thing to do, it's just the least effective. Quite the opposite. There are many cases when push notifications are as effective as ever. However, we may want to increase our chances to convert, right? So we may want to apply something more advanced here. We may foresee the case where the opening of the push notification leads to the in-app message being opened in the application. So, for example, if we communicated a specific special offer to the customer and they got interested and they click on the push, so we don't want them to land on just a generic home screen. We want to land them on the very page that explains some detail of the offer that got them interested in the first place. But we may want to get even more sophisticated here, because in the previous case I've just described to you, we've only considered the case when a customer has opened the push notification. But what happens if they have not? Here, we may want to try to reach them out via another channel, for example, an email. If they're not that interested in opening our push notification, maybe an email will be the channel they prefer, and we'll still have our message conveyed. And moreover, by applying all the possible channels, we synchronize our offers across these channels. And this way, we escape the risk of some costly mistake. We may avoid some reputational losses. For example, imagine you target a customer with your loyal customer with a special offer for loyal customers only. And at the very same time, via another channel, via emails, for example, that we send in a broadcast manner, we send the very same offer, the very same discount, but we say that it's dedicated for all the customers. What's the use of being a loyal customer? This loyal customer may think. We want to avoid this. We want to avoid the customer from, we want to prevent the customer from feeling cheated. That's why we want to apply this synchronized approach to our communications. And once again, we want to fly during this holiday season. So we may create the entire customer journey using all the channels we have available. For example, we choose our favorite segment, which is most likely to convert for us. And first, we may send them a little less salesy email where we just present our holiday season collection. Then, after a while, we may send them a more converting push, which will entice them to open the app, to have a closer look at the collection. Maybe there we will even show them an in-app with an item that this particular customer is most likely to enjoy and finally buy. Or we may push them to open your app with a special promo, like today only you have this special price for this holiday season collection. And here you may get as creative as you can. So to wrap up a bit on this strategic part, I recommend you to ensure highest conversion and revenues by doing two things. The first one is you may want to start your personalization with more advanced targeting, because as we've seen from these real examples, this is where everything begins. This is where personalization begins, in the right segmentation. And the second thing to do is go omni-channel. Apply as many channels as you have and keep them synchronized between each other, because you want to own your entire customer journey. And this is where I'm passing the mic to Jansu so that she can tell you more about the customer journey.
Of course. So thanks a lot, Elena, for leaving the stage to me. So I want to talk a bit about the classical user journey. So it has multiple stages, as you probably already know and see in the slides here. And it's crucial to have a solid strategy encompassing all these phases to achieve successful results within any app, basically. But I have some good news for you. The story format itself is very flexible and can address different pain points while you are designing the overall experience, the best overall experience for your users. So let's start with onboarding, right? Onboarding is a crucial stage for businesses to establish a strong connection with their user base. But what is good onboarding? It's full screen. It should be immersive. It should be distraction-free, and of course, skippable. These are the basics that you can do with in-app stories already. But let's go one step further. As Elena also mentioned, there is always a great opportunity in personalization and using segmentation. That's also something you can accomplish with stories too. If you treat your newcomers in a cohort-based way by differentiating between how they are acquired, then you are more than good to go. And engagement, our second step. In-app engagement, in a nutshell, is a measure for how your users interact with your app. Two most common KPIs to track in terms of engagement are session time. It's basically how long do people spend time in your app, and also what actions they take. So how can you motivate your users to spend longer time and also take the desired actions? The answer is simple. You should deliver a fun and dynamic experience using interactive stickers such as polls, quizzes, emoji sliders, emoji reactions, etc. But you should also don't stop there. You shouldn't limit yourself to static images, right? You can always publish interactive and shoppable videos to make them take action. And moving on to conversion, the paramount of the phases in the user journey for this webinar, I guess. So one thing I can suggest to you is keeping the purchase process as short as possible. A way to accomplish this is through to-the-point CTAs, one-click buying, in other words. Storyly provides fully customizable buttons, swipe ups, and product tags that can take the user to their cart or even to the checkout step directly. So for e-commerce, it's also important to use contextual images and videos where the users can easily shop the whole look and get inspired by the stories that they see. Besides the CTAs, promo codes have also an extreme impact on conversion rates. Not just for conversion, but we know and it's proven that promo codes increase brand awareness too. E-commerce users love using coupons and special promotions, of course. So placing promo codes on stories has great benefit to your business in many ways. Furthermore, we have many customers like New Look from UK who leverage the power of countdown stickers to create Fomo among their user base. This sticker can be combined with CTAs and promo code stickers, of course, to double the effectiveness. I should also mention before moving on that you can automate and personalize your product stories with a simple setup in Storyly. You can create templates and fill the templates with personalized product selection or items abandoned in the cart. And also your product feeds that you probably already use for Google Merchant Center or Facebook Product Catalog. Because we know how tremendous this work can take time for our customers, we just wanted to make the process easier and accelerate and automate the whole process. Long story short, for conversion, you can maximize the revenue in the upcoming holiday season by using CTAs, promo codes, and countdown stickers in stories, while personalizing the stories and automating the whole process. Together, these all will make your users want to purchase a product and then accomplish this process without any hassle. We will, of course, talk more about conversion in the upcoming slides. Let me continue with retention. But why is retention important? Because it's the essence of mobile growth. You keep acquiring new users to your app, and you shouldn't stop there. You should also keep them coming to your app. You should retain them in your app. Because we know some sad facts about retention, like 25% of the users abandon the apps after just one use. Or similarly, user retention after 10 sessions is as low as 32%. So apps need new strategies to retain their users in the long run. Interactive stickers are great for building gamified and rewarding experiences to make the users come back to the app again and again. And we have many apps from all around the world. We have many customers that are creating daily trivia, pop-up quizzes, and so on. And where in turn, they give rewards to those who know the correct answers. This significantly increases the app stickiness. Apart from the gamification and interactivity part, it's always a great idea to make sure you inform your users about the new products or back-in-stock products in your app. Stories are not just a fancy way to showcase your products, but also you can use stories for app-related announcements like new features to adopt your users in the features in a much easier way. So what I suggest is to keep your users informed with the new in-app features using stories. Plus, with Storyly, apps create a kind of social layer where they import stories from other social platforms like Instagram or YouTube. This social layer helps apps to create a sense of community inside the app too. And reality. So you make a certain amount of investment in new user acquisition. You try to keep them retained and engaged in the app. But wouldn't it be great if these people bring other people too? So it's probably the dream of every app owner. But you should need to use some techniques to keep your app viral. So stories created in Storyly are shareable. Basically, we place an icon, a small button in stories that just simply enables the user to tap and then share the story into any platform they like with their social circles. And coming back to the promo codes we just mentioned earlier, Storyly also allows app owners to create copyable promo codes, allowing users to share the code. So when all these features, all the two features come together, there's a great chance to increase your app's K factor. So just to sum up maybe, and stories are very new in the mobile ecosystem. I can imagine our participants wondering like, how can we leverage the power of stories? How can we create the best possible stories ever? So let me give some tips and tricks based on our experience with our users. So first of all, you need to deliver a dynamic user experience. You should use videos. They are simple, but they are prolific because you can get so creative within videos. There are unboxing videos, influencer videos, shopping event videos, shoppable videos, etc. And all of these videos can be directly in your app, in full screen. Another point is that we don't like to be passive viewers anymore. So make your users interactive, ask for feedback, let them actively participate. Listen to what they want and act accordingly. Finally, we mentioned this one, but we can't emphasize this enough, I guess. You should personalize as much as you can. Address these different expectations on your app. Keep them as customized as possible, regardless of that it is the holiday season or not. So we will continue with actionable ideas, and Elena and I will just give some examples from our own experiences back and forth, and I will just leave the floor to Elena.
Thank you, John. So informative. I guess our Our listeners are very excited to have a look at these actionable ideas. So let's get started with the first case, onboarding. What can you do to increase conversions as early? Well, the first thing is a real-world example from the iHerb app, who helps to navigate their customers through the app. They use small tooltips made as inline in-apps that just lead the customer from product search to choosing the categories they like, and finally to completing the purchase in the app. From what we know, the better UX leads to more conversions. Another example is quite a straightforward one. You may suggest a special promo code for you newcomers so that they convert as early as possible. And also, we're speaking mostly about conversions and sales here, but we're also encouraging you to retain users in the app and keep in touch with them. And for this, surely you want to show them an opt-in prompt. And what can you do here? Well, you'd better highlight the fact that it's not just to receive your push notifications because it's you as an e-commerce brand that needs your customer to do this. No, you'd rather pay their attention to the fact that it's them that are going to receive some special promo codes and best discounts, just like this holiday season, as well as during the entire year after that.
Okay, so it's my turn. So your app might offer different benefits to different user segments. And it's great to prepare more than one message and creative for the acquisition of these different groups. So the next step after acquiring the users can be onboarding these users to your app based on the initial promise that you provide them. If you offer them a holiday season discount, include this message in your onboarding flow. If you offer them several gift ideas for the holiday season, use it while welcoming them to your app. You can customize the onboarding experience with in-app stories that Storyly provides.
So let's move to the next case. What about product discovery and conversion? Well, here's an example from Zara Home that provides you that quite extensive email where they present the entire product selection. Here, as you can see, they've added links to their product so that if you're interested, you can go and probably even purchase it straight away. But the entire look and feel of this communication is that it's rather a brand image promo. It's quite inobtrusive. It's something like an editorial. Speaking about more sales examples, you may want to upsell your customers. So as soon as they've added something to the cart and you see they hesitate to complete the purchase, is it because they don't qualify for free shipping yet? The SS app resolves this issue quite directly and I believe quite effectively, because they calculate how much more you need to spend to qualify for that free shipping. So it becomes evident for the user, and they're likely to add another item to the cart and complete the purchase. And there is also the cross-sell scenario coming from the La Redoute app. They have added some recommended items that a customer may want to purchase along with their chosen item.
Okay, so in Storyly side, we think that there are two key elements to maximize conversion rates during the holiday seasons. Elena also mentioned them, but I just want to quickly go over them too. So the first one is generate demand by delivering a product discovery experience. Full screen images of stories or videos to exhibit products in an appealing context. That's very important and that's very crucial. And the second one is facilitate the action of purchase. Product tags and CTA buttons, and also swipe ups in stories. They let you enable one-click buying. You don't lose users on the way. You can take them from discovery directly to purchase.
True. Well, doesn't it sound like Fomo is something quite synonymical to the holiday season? Like it's the most evident thing to do. Well, here is an example of an email that IKEA app sends, highlighting the fact that it's Cyber Monday to those customers who haven't paid attention to this. Probably it was sent some early in the morning yesterday. So it's quite an apparent thing to do that you may want to highlight your holiday season offer via all your communication channels. And you want to entice your customer to open the app, to get involved in more content and more products they will want to purchase. But also, well, Cyber Monday and holiday season is kind of a longer periods of the year. You may want to create that sense of even higher urgency. For example, this is an example from the Wish app that proposes a very limited time offer for that first time conversion. So once a customer has added an item to the app but has stopped browsing or taken any action in the cart, they show them a pop-up message that reminds that time is running out.
Sounds interesting, Elena. So one of the best things about in-app stories is the ability to create a sense of urgency, a fear of missing out. And we are lucky because by nature it's in the store format itself, since people tend to think that stories disappear in like 24 hours. That's what we know from other social media platforms, right? Also on top, you can add countdowns to stories about your holiday season campaigns. They encourage your users to check out these discounts instantly. And one step further is to use countdowns to announce the upcoming campaigns. Thanks to the bell-shaped icon you see on the images here, users can have push notifications when the campaign starts.
Well, I suppose that feedback, especially positive feedback, is the first sign of great customer retention. So, what can you do here? I encourage you to ask your customers' opinion of the shopping experience when they are the most satisfied, because they are most likely to give you all the 5 stars. And you may show it as an in-app message that pops up once a customer has completed the order. It may be a push notification that arrives a while after the order has been delivered. Or, Jansu, what else can we do?
Yeah, feedback is very important for all of us, right? So, and we know that it's difficult to convince users to give you feedback. We always need to find more organic, more natural ways to ask their opinions. And interactive stickers are great for that. You can add some polls and quizzes to your stories and ask your users like how they feel about Christmas campaigns or holiday season discounts or maybe any feature in the app, an upcoming update, etc. And one very fun case is that you can even ask them if they like stories in your app while using stories.
A kind of a recursion. A dream inside the dream.
Yeah.
Well, and we're approaching a very fun way to engage your audience is by applying gamification. And gamification is something that normally happens in the app when a customer is already there. But you can also encounter this sometimes in other formats. So here's a rare and great example from Taco Bell that sent an email. Can you imagine this design, this layout that you see right now is an email that has some clickable parts, and depending on which part of the email the user clicks, they will pass to the next stage of that game.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
So, just adding on to what Elena said, while playing a game, we lose track of time because there's competition, there are rewards, maybe there are challenges, and every app would love to create the same effect on their users. The solution is to use some game elements, even if you have a shopping app. So we have an example here. You can create a 6-letter promo code, let's say, and that's special to holiday season. You can use stories to announce one letter of the code every hour. Also make each story disappear before you publish the next story. Users can bring these hints together and have a discount with this promo code. To also trigger this action, you can add countdowns to stories so that the users will know when these hints will go away. Actually, some of our clients just tried this scenario and they achieved remarkable increases in app visits, impressions, and reach.
Yeah, looks impressive. And can we ever speak too much of personalization? I don't think so. So personalization is something that you apply in such a thing as back in stock notification, because you'd rather send not just a generic your favorite item is back in stock, but rather you show that item so that it creates the desire to be the first one to complete the purchase of it. Then you may want to remind your customers of the abandoned cart. And here, once again, first, you may want to show the exact products they have almost abandoned. And the second thing is to communicate this message via the customer's preferred channel. So it can be a push notification as well as email, if the customer prefers this format. And you can also apply personalization for new conversions and purchases. For example, here is an email from a cosmetics store that was sent based on previous product views and purchases. For example, a customer was interested or even purchased anything from the Italica brand. So they're most likely to respond positively to this email recommendation as well.
Thanks, Elena. So there are many ways to personalize your communication with users through in-app stories. Here comes the first one, our first example. You can use polls to ask users what kind of a discount would make them happy in the holiday season. And when you have the answers, the second step will be to offer discounts to users based on their preferences. You can easily use the data of their answers to the poll and customize the following experience. You give them what they want, basically. So this is very important and powerful. So moving on to our next example. Who doesn't like to have something special on their birthdays, right? Probably no one. You can address people with their names and offer them extra discounts for their birthdays. This might not be just holiday season specific, of course, but it will definitely help you increase loyalty in the long run and will translate into holiday season revenues in the holiday season. So if we're going to look at more seasonal examples, one of the biggest issues is cart abandonment. Personalized stories let you remind people that they added something to their cart but left it there. Also in this slide, another version of cart abandonment is favorite abandonment. You can also remind people that they have unpurchased items among their favorites. The beauty of these stories is they're able to take the users directly to the purchase page, as we discussed earlier.
And surely the best results are achieved when you join the forces of multiple formats, of multiple channels. So, for example, you may start your communication with a short and sweet push notification that will pull the customer in the app. And then?
And then, as you said, Elena, an app might have users who abandoned it after several users, and you send them a push notification, a personalized, a great looking one, and call them back to the app. But then what? A user who clicks on this notification can land directly to the home screen where she feels lost because there is no clue about the mentioned promo code or any other promotion. But this is where stories can enter the scene, right? Take users directly to the story screen where they can learn more about the details of the special offer that you're providing them. So when they can always click the cancel button and discover more, explore more in your app. But first, let's land them in the story to guide them in the right way. So that's the power of two tools, I guess. And just to sum up and just to give you a few key takeaways and just to, talk about like how we can make this holiday season effect last longer, is that that holiday season will definitely give you a boost to conversion rates, but there are ways to keep it flowing. First, you should combine different mediums for communicating with users because communication is the key. Communication has different layers like push notifications, telling about your product updates in stories, making the whole experience interactive using story stickers. And also, as we discussed earlier, conversion does not occur by its own. You should cover the whole user journey, starting from onboarding to virality, to make it happen over and over again. Plus, always keep in mind that you should listen to what your users have to say about the products, about the services that you provide them. Gather feedback. Try to get into their shoes by personalization too. So finally, I can just say that we can start, creating a long-lasting increase in sales with these ideas all together.
Thank you so much, Jansu.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, ladies. I think you have covered the most common use cases for in-app messaging, in-app stories, also push notifications and emails. However, we've got some questions. So you mentioned about like use case to recover an abandoned cart. So maybe you could give some more examples how we can help here to solve this biggest e-commerce problem.
Maybe I should just jump in here.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. So we probably like Apple owners, especially in e-commerce business, they suffer from abandoned carts. And what we want to do is, so you know which carts are abandoned, you know the users who abandoned their carts, who just forgot to buy what's in their cart, etc. So with a simple integration in Storyly, you can just, fill stories with the abandoned carts. And let's say you just send them a push notification. Using Pushwoosh, of course, you just send them a push notification, and then when they open the app, they just see a story, a full screen story. That there is no room for distraction. They just see the items that they left in the cart. So and then with a simple CTA, with a simple button in the story, you just redirect them to checkout process. So that's how we in Storyly. That's one of the ways that like how we tackle this cart abandonment problem.
True. What I just like to add is probably that this is the case where there is a great field for experimentation, where you want to do A/B testing, ABCD testing, and all these kind of experiments where you want to test the reason why the customer has abandoned the cart in the first place. Was it the total that turned out to be higher than they expected? Did they put too expensive items they would normally do? And this is what you would learn from some analysis of their purchase behavior, their previous purchase history. And then you may want to try to apply some promo codes. Like, would it be a promo code that would give a discount for the price of the items they chose? Or would they prefer free shipping, like in that example from the SS app that I showed? What would they prefer? Only you will know what works for your customers by testing these different messages and different offers.
And also along the way, you can always ask for feedback, like, why did you leave this item in your cart, kind of feedback. And, try to understand your users even better.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I just was curious. It's like a question more for Jansu. Is it possible to have stories on the web and maybe you have some other services for websites?
We do actually, yes. We have a web SDK too. Just like in native mobile SDKs and React Native and Flutter SDKs, we also have a web SDK. So you can definitely just integrate Storyly into your website.
That sounds cool, actually. Yeah, so because it's also important to not to forget about desktop users. And how about like the speed of downloading? Does it affect in any way?
No, actually. I mean, Storyly SDK is like very lightweight, and also in app speed, we don't see any problems with that. We don't affect the app speed actually.
That's cool. Okay, so I don't see any other questions in the chat. I think it was a very useful webinar, not only for this holiday season, but also for 2022, because like a lot of examples that we can actually use in real life and engage and convert our users from apps. Thank you both Elena and Jansu for your presentations and for your comments, expert contribution in this topic. I hope we will see our audience in our future webinars. Don't forget to go and check our webinar section. And thank you everyone for watching us today.
Thanks everyone for coming.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. See you next time.
Bye.